Now, organisers are now implementing the pre-games phase on the playbooks of COVID-19 countermeasures from January the 4th to the 22nd. Among these is the imposition of closed-loop management on a small scale for all personnel involved in the games. Beijing Capital International Airport is the officially designated airport for the entry and exit of overseas Olympic personnel to the 3 competition zones of the Beijing Olympics. And the Winter Games main media center also went into operations on Tuesday. Now, the first group of Olympic personnel from overseas have already arrived in Beijing. And COVID-19 countermeasures such as the closed-loop management are now in effect. And Wang Hanyang walks us through the whole process.
Organizers are now implementing the pre-games phase on the playbooks of COVID-19 countermeasures from January 4th to the 22nd. Among these is the imposition of closed-loop management on a small scale for personnel involved in the games. Beijing Capital International Airport is the officially designated airport for the entry and exit of overseas Olympic personnel to the 3 competition zones of the Beijing Olympics, namely Beijing, Yanqing, and Zhangjiakou. Terminal 3 has been designated for arrivals and departures of all athletes, coaches, referees, technical officials, and games personnel from all over the world.
After entering Terminal 3, passengers will go through a series of procedures. First, they are required to show their health status and their travel route. Then they will go through a non-contact body temperature detector, and then to the nucleic acid sample collection area. Those involved in the games can directly go through border inspection procedures without waiting for the nucleic acid test results.
The airport-based team for the games is ready to meet the demands of games participants for worry-free arrival at the competition venues.
Athletes don't need to carry their large luggage, such as luges, sleds, and other sports equipment. Our logistics team will transport those directly to stadiums, venues, and a vaccine room.
The first batch of volunteers for the games began work on January 4th. The 16 volunteers will provide reception and departure services.
The
accreditation card for Beijing Winter Olympics is recognized from January the 4th. The card allows all overseas personnel involved in the games entry into China.
The Beijing Organizing Committee for 2022 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games has issued the second version of the Games Playbook, where closed-loop management is one of the 6 key principles for COVID-19 prevention. Other key principles in the playbook to be observed by all games participants are daily health monitoring, COVID-19 testing, and minimizing physical interaction by traveling only between permitted destinations in officially designated transportation. Those who have not been fully vaccinated can enter the closed-loop system after observing 21-day quarantine. The rules of the playbook went into force since January 4th and will be observed throughout the Olympic Games and until the Paralympic Games in March. Wang Hanyang, CGTN.
And just 30 days left to the Beijing Winter Olympics. In a recent video conference, coaches and athletes of China's national winter sports teams shared their latest achievements and also expectations for the Games. Zhao Boyuan has more.
With just a month to go before the Olympic flame lights the cauldron in Beijing for the Winter Games, Chinese athletes are entering the final stage of preparation. The Chinese speed skating team ended 2021 on a high note, breaking personal bests and national records at the Speed Skating World Cup, held in 4 different places around the world, including Poland, Norway, North America, and Canada since November last year.
In the just finished Speed Skating World Cup, we achieved our goal. It's worth mentioning that 35 of our athletes created personal best records. 4 of them broke the national records during the Speed Skating World Cup, which is a great improvement of confidence before the Beijing Winter Olympics.
China's national skeleton team was established in 2015. One of the best athletes of the team, Gangwon Chang, was originally a long jump athlete before he was named to the skeleton team. At the Skeleton World Cup held in November 2021 at Innsbruck, Austria, he he won the men's single championship with a total score of 1 minute 46.04. He is also China's first skeleton World Cup champion.
I think this championship is an affirmation to myself. It has greatly improved my confidence. I also believe that I have more potential to explore in the coming Beijing Winter Olympics.
With its top speeds of over 100 kilometers per hour, luge has always been known as Formula One in winter sports. This year's Beijing Winter Olympics marks the debut of the country's first national luge team at the Winter Games. The luge team has been garnering stellar results in the different categories at the latest Luge World Cup held in 7 different cities around the world since November last year.
截止目前，雪橇队已经参加了5站世界杯。
So far, China's national luge team has won the Winter Olympic qualifications in men's single, women's single, doubles, and team relay, and achieved the goal of participating in all events of luge.
At the video conference, many of the coaches mentioned all-event participation. From the use of cutting-edge technology in training to expanding Chinese athletes' international exposure, China is determined to give its all as the host nation. Until the opening of games on February 4th, the coaches said they will use the remaining weeks to ensure the physical and mental conditions of their athletes are at its best by the time the flame is lit at the Beijing National Stadium. Zhao Boyuan, CGTN.